two-shot launch steel tip action on the 4th generation Bandit board, adding the one-piece flight deck system to all steel tip barrels as well. I'll be throwing 23-gram weight everything, starting with the Celt Tornos, followed by Roman Empire Juno, and finally the Celt Balor Dart. God, I love the steel tip version even more. It's longer and more torpedo-y than the soft tip. We've got a straight barrel now with evenly distributed weight. I'm going to use that King Crown milling as my grip reference. Shot calls that gnarly rear section vessel grip, I believe. It's unmatched by anything I've felt before, honestly. 83 scored. Next up, we've got the Celt Balor Bomber Dart. This is the hardest changeup for me because it's front weighted, so that means I have to hold in the max diameter. Yeah, good pick. Oh my gosh, guys. New darts, new Bandit dartboard, and new flight deck colors. Go ham.
Hope you missed us. If you didn't, well, welcome back. We're here anyways. Doesn't matter. Nick Teixeira, Steve McDowell on the mic. DPFL Season 11. My worst opener ever. And it's the Division 1 Championships. Joe Smith, Dustin Jensen taking on the dartboard. I'm looking forward to seeing every bit of what should be an exciting matchup. And Steve, we just saw a great one with Division 3, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, that was nice. Both those guys shot way above their average and played great. They weren't afraid. It was so weird that they looked like they were a little nervous, but boy, they powered right through that with no problem.
Oh, exactly right. Well, we're going to see what's interesting here about Division 1. And I have a dog in this race. I normally don't. I normally try to be as unbiased as possible. But Joe Smith was in my round robin group, and therefore I have to cheer for him, right? I feel like there's like a little sense of like camaraderie between the two of us now. So Dustin is, of course, going to give a Valorant effort. I'm looking forward to seeing how this one plays out.
I don't know if I root for people who beat me. They're just not in me.
If I want to lose, I want to lose to the guy that wins it. I will always have that mentality. I don't want to lose, but if I do, that's the guy I want.
95.
Okay, this is gonna go a little faster, but race to 12.
Yeah, race to 12 into this one. It definitely will go a little faster. Although the other one was frankly pretty quick. 65 to 75 is the average range expected here in Division 1. Starts the 19s on 263, 133 to leave 130 would be the route.
Are we going to do this already?
It's Division 1, Steve. They're 65 to 75. They get it. Let them have it. 96 to leave the 167. Smart switch. It leaves a checkout. This is going to be a recurring issue, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, these guys are, obviously better at it. Let's be real.
That's fair enough. Fair play. Trouble 20, trouble 19 for double bull. Not going to happen. So chat, let us know who you're cheering for in this great matchup.
85.
See Tony already tuning in saying, let's go, Joe. $57 for 32. Good marker dart. I'm saying all Steve's favorite words right now.
Third dart.
You see how he used that barrel, kissed right off it into the double.
Yeah, I mean, he did it on purpose. He missed the second one, so he didn't win the game. So he could throw the third one off of it to win the game. Yeah, that's what I would have done. Who doesn't like a good trick shot?
Listen, you're just trying to find a reason to claim that you're missing on purpose, okay? Because it's definitely not.
Well, I mean, Okay, if you're gonna miss, why don't you say it's the best miss dart? Why are we calling it a marker dart?
It's a marker because
95.
you just have to throw the dart the same way you threw that last one, and it'll glide right in the barrel. That's the idea of a marker.
Okay. If you say so.
Oh,
I don't know
my
who came
gosh.
up with that term. It's probably the guy who missed it a lot. It's like, Carl Powers calls himself the wire because every dart he throws it, the only time he remembers the dart he threw is when it's on the wire instead of in the triple. Why doesn't someone call themselves the marker?
You know what?
Wow.
I might change my nickname from the boy to the marker because I'm getting too old for the boy anyways. Let's be real.
You can now be the marker.
With the last dart bender, what was that? What was Cheeseman's? that was the Wiggler.
Yeah. We called him the Wiggles.
The Wiggles, that's right. Well, honestly, Steve, I really, after that match that we just did for Division 3, I really want to clip out our arguments and just post on the DPFL page and just see what the comments have to say about that one.
137.
I don't know. It all depends. Like in these guys, yes, you gotta try those big outs because everyone can hit them. And in Division 1, you're right there on the brink of Premier. Yes, they can hit these. Here you're talking, some of these players in the Division 1, they're really good. I mean, these are guys that are right on the cusp of taking it up to the next level. And these two guys will be taking their talents to the next level next season because they're in the finals.
Yeah, I love to see that. I'd love to see these guys graduate, so that way I feel better about my loss to Joe Smith earlier in the round robin where I lost 11-7. Yeah, I didn't forget Joe.
I think they'll find out. It's just the amount of time those guys on the dartboard. It's a difference, right? It's just total difference. So you got to put the time in.
Yeah, that's true with anything in life, but especially with darts. It's muscle memory. It's muscle memory and memorization. That's the difference maker.
43.
Yeah, it's steel tip though. Steel tip's the difference. It's
Well, that too.
At least we can see the boards on this one.
Yeah, the views are a little bit better here for the live stream.
I was, I wear glasses to see this stuff. But last match, I just took them off and waited for you to tell me because it didn't help. Couldn't see.
Well, you know what? Fair enough. This one a little bit different of a view here. Dustin has more of that traditional view. I think Joe's actually using like a just a normal cell phone camera there, so it's a little stretched on how I have it set up, but definitely can tell what's going on. And Joe Smith, by the way, looking very likely for a 2-0 lead in this race of 12, which is a long way from that win, but not a bad start by any means if he gets this double in here.
Second dart.
He does get it. And
Yeah,
I want that 125 to be 5 bulls just to make Steve's head explode so bad.
I started in Division 2. I went to Division 1, went back to Division 2. But I remember when I played Division 1, guys don't miss a lot in Division 1. They don't usually miss 2-3 turns. You got to get down there and get your chance at it or it's gone. That was soon Premier's even worse.
Yeah, Premier is a dragon I'm still trying to chase, right? I want to experience that. I know for this next season, I won't be able to play as signups close, by the way. If you guys are interested, signups do close May 30th. So we got just 3 days left to sign up because the season starts June 2nd. I'm moving across the country in the middle of June, so I won't be able to play in season 12, but I might be playing some of those express leagues once it gets to the time for those to launch around August here.
Are you going to try to play any of the events at the live event, or is they going to have you working the whole time?
Will works me like a dog.
He's such a nice guy.
Well, legitimately though, I've had this conversation before. When I'm at an event, if I'm there to play, I want to play the whole time, and if I'm there to work, I want to work the whole time. The times I've tried to do half and half, I frankly was really upset the other time where either I was playing when I really felt like I should just be streaming, or I was streaming when I really just wanted to be playing. I don't like to split my focus like that, so it's really hard to do that. Now I will occasionally play a blind draw or something if the stream's over, but that's about as far as I'll go.
134.
Yeah, some of my admins here at DPFL, they were asking if they could play because we're going to be working it, so it's a lot of things that got to go on in the background and all that. Said, I said, well, we keep it to a minimum, maybe a match or two a day tops, because there's so many events to play in.
Yep.
So maybe I'll let them squeeze in, but it won't be that where they're playing full time. It's just not that possibility.
Now, if you wanted to put a rematch of you and I playing the Super Cup match on the main stage on the live stream, now we're talking.
I'm pretty sure I can fit that in somewhere for sure.
I actually did play it was recorded in Chicago just this last week. Porky was there, Steve Hilger with his daughter Zyla, who's 12 years old, and me and Will was playing Porky and his daughter. And then after a while, we're like, let's Liam Reaney comes by, and we decided to make it an adult youth matchup. And Zyla's like, hey, can I play with him? And points at Ram Guevara. So Zyla goes over, picks up Ram, and it's me and Liam, and I'm just like, really, Ram? And they're playing like Fat. The kids picked the format they wanted to play Fat Bull, and I looked at Ram, and Ram looks at me. He's like, I'm just going to go triples. I'm like, I'm still going the Bulls. You're crazy. You're Ram Guevara, and I'm Nick Teixeira.
No.
I saw Ram playing out at the Las Vegas Open. He was pretty dang on good.
Yeah, for throwing 9 gram darts.
Change it, or?
That's insane.
If you don't mind.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. What's it supposed to be? 50, you said?
50. Yeah, 50. That's my fault, sir.
No worries. No worries. There we
Yeah.
go.
Hey, God dang it. 36, 46, 52. I'm just all over the place right now.
I was going to say, I was like, that's definitely not 50. God, they got that one sorted out there.
Sorry about that.
All good.
38. Dustin. Trying to get a leg on the board. Gotta play the first dart safe and try to throw the second one aggressive. He's splitting. Going for 32. The suspense between his darts is killing me.
I'm supposing you have a theory behind not trying to go for the double 19. If you hit a 19 high, go for the 3 and then go over the same thing.
Oh, I'm okay. Yeah, there's a little hostility here. I feel like that's now a 3-0 lead for Joe Smith. I mean, listen, if you're gonna split, if you're the type of player to split, you should try to split every time. If you're the type of player to go right at it, you should go right at it every time. It's the players that go back and forth that upset me there. I personally at 38, I rip it. I shoot that shot. I don't care. If you want to split on 38 to shoot 6 for double 16, that's fine. But Joe, no matter what, on his first start, should have been at a double for his last 2. 85. And it's a risk. I want to have all 3 darts shooting at a double because I like to set up my marker darts.
Well, again, it all depends what division you're in, right? So let's say you're Division 3 or 4 and you've got 38 and you're like, well, I don't know if I can hit that 19. Again, you got to be careful that you don't
58.
miss your original flat dart. So he went straight at the 6. I get it. What if he'd hit the 13?
I agree. I don't think again, that's why I personally don't split. Like if I'm splitting at 38,
125.
My opponent's at 200, right? My opponent's not on a finish and I'm just trying to make it a little bit of a cleaner route. That's the only time I would do a split. But if my opponent is on a finish, it doesn't matter if it's a little guppy as you put it or anything else. I'm still going to go ahead and shoot right at that
6.
double. Cause I feel like even in the doubles I hate on the board, like double 3, double 19, double 1, I always try to have the confidence that I can hit at any point. That's the mentality you should have. Whether it's true or not, it's a different story.
134.
To me, I'm looking at where my opponent is. I don't, if my opponent's in and out, I'm going for the win. Boom. If my opponent's sitting, above 100, I'm splitting.
24.
Well, now 157, and Joe Smith, by the way, and currently that last had opportunities by Dustin. This was basically 6 darts for 157, could be potential 9 darts for 157 is a great spot for Joe to find himself in.
Well, just like Nico, the last match, he's coming out just killing it. You know what I mean? Sitting nearly a 90. I mean, that's killing it. Dustin has to, weather the storm here. Again, it's a race to 12.
85.
We're going to see Dustin hit good somewhere along the line. He's going to start raging. And Joe will fade just a wee bit back, just like they all do. It's just the way it is. You just got to be on the up while they're on the down, and vice versa.
36.
36. They're definitely an uncharacteristic second dart. Went high. He was trying to go for the double play. Instead, leaves 64. Still has at least 3 darts. But this time, Dustin will be on a finish. It's 153. But it is a finish.
Not a fancy one. So when you gonna go, oh yeah, I got that.
Yeah, that's what I've been waiting for this whole
48.
time.
They get it? Oh, he's 48.
Yeah, an opportunity here at 153. It would be a heck of a shot. This is the type of shot. If it goes in, though, it all of a sudden turns around your mentality in the match. But looks like that first start's just low. No, it might have been in, actually. But that second one,
Low.
definitely not. Bill Smith saying, I always find rotated boards to look kind of weird. I guess I just really never notice. There's different boards that also are like rotated friendly in the sense that like where the logos are. Like I know the Target Tour board pretty much has like symmetrical logos, so that way you can rotate it and not really notice that's rotated. But I don't know. I mean, I have enough other things that are kooky in my dart game. I don't think about the rotation.
Well, that's probably because you don't hit the triple enough on one board to wear it out. So basically, it's always fine. So you can just keep playing in the same board. These guys are a little better, so they wear out numbers, so they have to turn them.
I was in the same round robin group as Joe Smith. What are we talking about? It was 11-7.
You actually got what I said.
Joe Smith trying to take out 16. He was outside on all 3. This time inside. Now out. Can you use that dart? It's a little far from that double.
Oh, you're calling it a bad marker?
It's not a bad marker. It just doesn't, that's just a missed dart, as you would put it.
It's Dustin into these leaving weird numbers out. I do not like 18-9.
I don't like it after the first dart. The first one, I'll take that first swing every time. Oh, I thought that double 4 was going for a second.
He really could have used that.
But Joe's having his double troubles. This is what you talked about. He was bound to cool off at some point for a little bit. And this is like where that's happening. But Dustin has yet to capitalize on this failed effort from Joe.
No way. Think this is a bit of nerves?
I think for Dustin it is. I think for Joe, I think it's just getting back into reality a little bit. There's Dustin does go ahead and nail the
dynamite.
Whoa! That's a patented Sean Green phrase.
Oh, I won't say that again.
But yeah, I think Dustin was having a little bit of nerves today. He was having some really long pauses between darts he wasn't having during the scoring phase. And I think that's because he won that first leg on the board that bad. He's definitely a more methodical player, but it was noticeable there. Joe, I think he was just missing some doubles, and it was just the cold streak.
85.
Now, when I played Joe, I already mentioned it was 11-7. Let me tell you, because I kind of looked back at this match data here.
95.
We both started off in the official term I would use is dog water for the first couple legs, but where he got that 3-0 jump on me. Then I finally got in there, but man, let me tell you, once he gets going, he doesn't really slow down. He those first couple legs were slow, and then he was staying in that 70s or higher range for majority of the match. At the very end there, I tried to make a comeback. I checked out a 141, and the next league checked out a 126, and he's like, "Oh, what's going on here?" Actually, when I checked out the 141, he said, I recall he said that's what you see on TV when those guys hit that. And I said, yeah, but normally they hit the 6 darts before it, for the 9 darter. It's not just me missing a bunch of darts and then happening to hit one big checkout. And then he proceeds to finish kicking my butt and averages 71.28 in that match to my 65.67. And he's been averaging well this season as he came in as one of the favorite seeds, the number 5 seed with a first round bye.
Yeah, it's these guys up here. I mean, you got to come to play, and that's where I think that these guys are playing multiple leagues or they're traveling. Division One, they're playing more, they're practicing more, they're taking it way more serious. It just is what it is. I mean, these guys, you've got to play, and that's DPFL.
62.
It's so funny because you play the local league, and there may be one guy that's above a 65. You come to DPFL and you play in a level where they're all above 65, and you're like, oh crap! Every week it's a reality check.
Yeah, it certainly is. It felt like that. I felt like that because I was supposed to be in Division 2 and I averaged a 61. I would have lived right and comfortably in Division 2. But I decided to have them put me up to the next division, and let me tell you, it made me better. And I will always recommend someone to play up the way that I decided to push myself, mostly because I just didn't want Worcester to be in a higher division than me, but still, nonetheless.
I'm actually kind of surprised Will's in, Division 1.
Well, he didn't get out of it. I can tell you that much. He stayed in that round robin.
Did he finish with above 65?
I can check that right now, can't I? Hold on. Let's see. Using the handy dandy Dart Connect for the stats here. He finished the season at a 64.43. So right there.
Yeah, but at 64, he goes down.
Well, I finished the season at a 61.91. I was the 4th lowest average in all Division 1, but yeah, I made it out round robin because when I did win, they were good wins.
Yeah, that means you must have shot super high
Second dart.
in your wins.
Yeah. Well, I had like a flu game in there where I lost. I honestly thought I was going to lose 11-0. I think I snuck 2 legs in that match, but I literally was so sick I couldn't see the board, and I already pushed off the match like a week plus at this point. And I was like, I got to play it at some point. And I just decided to play it while I was super sick. That match hurt my runnings, but also I legitimately thought I was going to be about a mid 60. Like
41.
I had 3 matches that were sub 60, and then I had a couple matches like a 74 in there, a 71, and a couple others. But for the good ones I did have, and there was a lot of bad ones I had as well.
60.
Yeah, I can't say that about myself. I didn't play worth a crap all year. I'm not sure even how I made it into the playoffs.
You probably know the owner.
Well, I obviously didn't pay myself, that's for sure. That's the case. I didn't get a check.
Joe, by the way, 4-1 up in this matchup. He is 33% the way there. Dustin has been challenging him pretty well, but he's hanging at the 70 spot this whole time. Joe's been just a little bit higher of a gear.
48.
Guys are having a hard time finding the triple all of a sudden.
Yeah, a little bit of a slowdown, but that big point separation there for Joe and Dustin is starting to rear its head in this particular leg as well, where Joe's just trying to hold throw.
97.
I can't do that. I'll kick it up. It's like the dramatic pause. It's like you're waiting for the dart to come. Where's it at?
80.
The fun is in not knowing. I like to just all of a sudden look up and be like, oh, that's where those darts went. Got it.
Oh,
140 to leave 160 is the goal. 100 to leave 200 does not give him the first look at a finish. Joe Good try to set up here. You can see Joe's a lot more of a rhythm player. Dustin has a little bit of rhythm with his throw, but you can tell, especially when he gets near checkouts, he becomes so much more mechanical and methodical.
it's funny how you see guys on the PDC tour throwing so fast. It's like even if I wanted to try to grab my dart that fast, grip it and throw, I couldn't.
I mean, I don't think I could ever be like a Danny Lobby speedster by any means. But I try to, I think like again, to reference one of your sponsored players, I think Asia Jalbert has probably one of the best nice rhythmic paces where it's not fast, but it's extremely consistent. And you can basically, if you put a blindfold on and had a stopwatch and just start the stopwatch when she started dart and then started one next, you would have the same pace. I guarantee it would be within a couple of milliseconds between how she pulls back the dart and launches it. It's incredible rhythm.
30.
Yeah, but you know what those players like in Asia, Spellman and those guys, they already have 3-dart thing in their head, right? And their dart, first dart goes in. They already know it's going to be the next dart. And you do that in tournaments. In big tournaments, one of the things I focus on is the 3-dart. Okay, when I go up there, what do I need? Boom, boom, boom. Before I even get ready to throw, what's my 3 darts? All 3 darts. Not what's my first dart. What's my 3 darts? In steel tip, it's some of these guys count so dang on fast, man. They miss something. You go, shit, they go over here and here before you figure it out. Oh, it's out. Like,
Yep.
Damn.
You never realize that until you control a live stream where you have like your actual spotting machine and you're there and all it does is you hit the button as Joe Smith grabs another leg, by the way. It's just a machine with buttons where you go ahead and hit all the different spots on the dartboard because that's where they're going, and it's so easy to miscount or not know where that next dart is going because of how fast some of these players can play. The human calculators, man, it's incredible.
Well, that's part of what keeps people out of steel tip from soft tip is you're so worried about the counting. And, back in the day, I wouldn't say back in the day, just even years ago, even the leagues I used to play around the Florida area, if someone had a tablet, it was like, ooh, you got a tablet? Everyone else is, with the whiteboard and the drivers, and you're having to do the math. Now, it doesn't sound hard. Okay, you got 319s, 57. But when someone's waiting for you and your total score is 431 and you got a minus 57 from 431, that's with the people. It's like being up at the chalkboard in school, right? Everyone's staring at you, you freeze. And I think that's what keeps some of the people away is the math. And in reality, there's always a way to count. It's weird. Someone would never think like if I had 431 and I threw 57. The first thing I'm doing, right, I'm taking 31 from the 57. What's left there? Then I subtract it from the 400, and that's my number. I don't do it the other way. That's how I counted. That's how I still count, which I don't know if that's weird or wrong, but that's how I do it. I've always done it.
See, a lot of times I will memorize the route I'm supposed to go and forget to do the math part, and then I'll be mid-throw and be like, "What was I doing again? What's the goal of this turn?" And honestly, I get exactly what you mean about feeling that pressure doing the math, knowing that you have the opponent waiting on you, and to try to keep the rhythm of the match going. For me, I get so much pressure when I'm chalking a match because I always try, if I'm at a steel tip event, to chalk at least one match each time I stream one. And every time I do it, I'm like, man, I hope I'm chalking a cricket match because I got that math every day.
But I'll tell you what,
99.
If you were to chalk these 501 games for anybody and anyone out there, if you get an opportunity to chalk, do it. Do it because you will see the outs. You will see the numbers it leaves. You will see what goes on with some of these guys shooting. And as soon as you see when they hit that leaves this, it's like a little light bulb comes on. Oh, now I get it. Now I know why he did that.
57.
Or now I know what a new out is. Then as you're getting down to a number, you got one dart left, and you want to leave whatever 40 out, and you're a 19 shooter, so you want to leave 116. You know what I mean? So you're trying to
100.
do things. So, but the only way to do this is by chalking, and chalking, even if it's on the dart connect, you're still counting up the numbers there. You see what it leaves on the board once you hit the dart connect. So it does help to chalk. It will help your math. And if you do it in a smaller local tournament, no one cares. The guys help you anyway, right? They don't really care. So, but very few dark tournaments anymore don't have dark connect anyway.
Oh, it's going double, by the way. I like that shot selection from Dustin. Leaves 40. Joe Smith, treble 20 for double 8. Trip 12 for double 18. Double 18 for double 18.
Is that a 1?
Or, sorry, double 20 for double 18. Yeah, that was a 1. Now a 19 scored. Single 17 and leave tops.
36.
But now Dustin Jensen can try to get back into the mix with a double 20 here. He's missed on the double. He missed it there. Going to the double 10. Well inside. Needs to make an adjustment before shooting the 5, but
35.
does nail it there. It's a leg on the board.
Damn. Needed that one.
No, it was not in. I'm
You missed?
mistaken.
Oh, my.
This could be a big moment, but Joe's got to capitalize.
30.
No, inside as well. This is tricky. You got to set it up. 1 for double 4 or double 2, excuse me. You saw what my brain did there. I knew the math. Steve, don't you worry.
You're starting to get that participation trophy here shortly.
Hey, wait a second. I'm trying my best, even if it's my best is still the worst.
10. No, he said enough of that. Got it.
That's a 6.
Oh,
It's inside.
that one's inside as well. I don't love the switch after the first start. You're already there, unless you really don't like the spot it's in.
First start.
Nice shot.
Dustin
There you
has another leg on the
I guess
board.
so.
5 to
Thank you.
2. And the fight continues on, Steve McDowell.
5 to 2. It's pretty good though.
Yeah, Joe's still in firm control of that early jump. We can see the average receding by about 5 points, and so is Dustin's, to be fair. But if Joe stays in that 75 or higher range, he will walk away with this one
82.
without many scratches. If he slows down a little bit more, Dustin can catch him.
Well, I mean, Dustin just got to catch a little fire. Once they start going into that triple, they go in them a lot. For these guys, especially.
100.
I mean, when they start going in for these guys, they go in them consistently. It's a different story. It's not like one every third. If he starts hitting 100, he hit another 100. $120. It's tough to those guys get going. You're like, oof.
97.
That's always the killer, man. Someone goes single 20, not close, and then comes down and drills a trip 19. You're like, oh, you
You son of a gun, you.
you were doing so well, and then you had to ruin it. Is it 180?
It is our first maximum of tonight on this stream. Division 3 did it first, boys. Get together. Yeah, Dustin, heating up a little bit. This is getting interesting.
I think I did. I had a 180 this year.
Just
I
one?
had several 171s. I just don't shoot the 20 that often.
I think I might have. I don't know if I hit a 171 this season, but I don't say the 19s very, very often. Not like that, at least.
I don't know who it was. I was playing a match this, and I'm beating the crap out of this guy. I'm like, so I'll go. I mean, literally, I go up and I shoot the 20s, And
100.
I'm like, I'm hitting the 20s. Like, what am I doing hitting 20s? I'm going 140, 100, 140. And I'm like, and then I hit a 180 and I go, man, I'm sorry. I never hit the 20s. And I'm thinking he's cussing at me under his breath. Shut the hell up. Of course you hit the 20s. And then like after game 4, I never shot the 20s again. I just laid in the 19s because I couldn't hit a 20 save my life all of a sudden.
99.
They just come and go.
No, I mean, I remember I started my first week. I hit 2 180s in my match, and then I didn't hit one for like the next 5 weeks after that. And I was like, all right, they're gone. It was fun while it lasted.
You know, the literally
24.
crazy part about steel tip is that if you literally just hit one triple round, you're going to be pretty good.
Yep.
One. Whereas in soft tip, if you don't hit 2 per round, you're going to get killed.
I would have to agree to an extent there. I mean, don't be wrong. You hit one trip around in soft tip and 2 good fallouts, you're averaging a 5. A 5 is a damn good player. But in steel, if you're hitting one trip around, you're a pro player.
Correct. And you think as many years as you've been playing darts, and as long as I've been playing darts, that I could get one of them in the triple. And I don't mean the trip 7 or the trip 3, which apparently were my friends. You know, I'm talking about in the trip. That's all I really need to do. I beat a lot of people because your scoring would get you down quicker than what they're going to do. Then you have a shot at the double first.
Well,
So that's why I sit on the 19s, is because it's I'm not shooting up. My arm seems to throw down at it better. So I tend to lay there.
First start.
And, you know,
First start.
but
Thanks, sir.
the equalizer was always the fun part, was the double.
well, speaking of
That's when the
doubles,
show
Joe Smith
started.
nails
Double
that
19.
38. Yep, that we talked about earlier. He did not split it. He went right at it. After Dustin had troubles sitting on 10. 10 has been an unlucky number tonight, it seems. Now he's halfway there.
They come and go. They come and go, though. The 10 used to be, I used to hate shooting at the double 20. I mean, this percentage on the double 20 was like 3, right? Maybe
Okay.
lower. But my percentage on 10 was a lot better. But as soon as I lost the 10, I was lost, because I was like, okay, I'm not going that way anymore. So then I just had to figure out a way to get it to 32 every time, because at least I had better shots at it. Because I was not going at the 5. Hell, if I can't hit the double 20, how the hell am I going to hit the double 5? It's right next to it.
You know what? Fair enough. I want to see the analysis that I agree with.
Just saying.
Oh man, looking at this battle though, it has definitely been an interesting one
96.
between these guys, just because Joe has really been maintaining that top end. Again, we talked Division 1. Division 1's a 65 to a 75 range. He's staying right there at the top of that range, and Dustin's been right in the middle of it this whole time, right? He hasn't been bad. I don't think Dustin's done anything where I'm like, that's bad, from what we expect to see from these guys. But I think Joe's just doing a lot of things right tonight.
Yeah, again, it's Joe is hitting his trip 20, and Dustin is just a little off. He's just a little off kilter.
125.
His darts are just a little to the side. I mean, they're not off by a mile, but that's the difference, is just that, you know, that half inch, that quarter inch. It isn't much for steel tip. And if Dustin gets it going in that triple, you know, he's just as easy to beat the crap out of Joe as Joe is doing now. But he just. And then the harder part, you know this, Nick, is as this goes more and more, you stop throwing darts, you start willing darts. Mm-hmm. And when you start willing darts, then you're done. And then you get a little more frustrated. See, right about now, I'd be on my 40-second F-bomb, and darts would be flying at walls, because it's like I need them to, please, for the love of God, just go in the triple. I'm throwing you at it, get it in there. See, now he's switching to the 19. He's looking for it, right? He's trying to find something. He's something different, and he's not far off. It's just they're not going in. But you can hear the frustration. You know, he's just got to, man. You got to stay the course, man.
Yeah, just hold on tight and hope it comes, because Joe Smith halfway to that win, you're starting to think about it at this point if you're one of these players. As by the way, beautiful setup shot there. Single 20, it goes to 54 to leave 80, and then hits a double 20 to leave double 20. not the route that I typically would see that setup go, but man, oh man, that's a fun way to shoot it.
Not if it's against you.
If this goes in, is that in for double 12? I think that's low.
140.
Yeah, it's a 140 leaf 4 instead. A great pressure shot, but
what are
Joe
you gonna do
Smith
there?
got to find it. He just hit the double 20 to set up double 20.
I got
Third
it.
dart.
Does get it there. 7-2, Steve.
sir.
Woo-wee. Dustin needs to put some break. Call a timeout, bathroom break, Miller Lite, something.
Hanging on the ropes there a little bit. But
Turn around
again,
3
not
times.
really. He hasn't done anything wrong. It's just that he's going against a player that's very in form at this moment right now.
Well, again, like you said, he's not doing anything wrong. But
Come on, Joe.
when you get down to the finals, you just got to shoot just a
66.
little bit better. You just got to be a little bit better. And I know that's difficult to do. I'm not gonna lie. Hell, I couldn't do it. It's hard to do. You want to do it. It's just, again, as long as he stays his form, keep throwing away, but you can't will him in, man.
Well,
You got to throw him solid like that. That was a more solid direct dart. Look at that one.
in the round robin phase, Dustin averaged a 75.16 and was second place in Group E. Well, so he's 5 points below his round robin average.
That's beautiful.
Joe Smith averaged was number 1 in Group C and averaged a 70.57. He's 5 points above his average, or now 4 points above his average. So that's the difference, right? Dustin, you slipped down just a smidge, and Joe picked up just a smidge, and all of a sudden that just a smidge becomes a big smidge, not just a smidge.
Yeah.
And if you're curious, smidge is the official measurement. I'm on the road for of everything. I was on the road for 28 days, Steve, and when I got back, I didn't want to go home and cook, so I stopped at Publix, a fine, well landscaped Florida commercial care property, and I walked in there. And I was like, I need a pub sub, and I ordered like a chicken tender sub because I'm moving from Florida. I move in 2.5 weeks, and I was like, I want to have one last pub sub. I had these all through high school and college, and I go there and I tell the lady, I want my chicken tender sub, and she's making that. I looked at her after. She's like, what toppings do you want? I'm like, I just want a smidge of olives. She's like, how many is that? I'm like, it's the exact amount I want. I want a smidge. I don't know how much that is. Enough to make me happy, but not too much.
What part of Ohio are you moving
100.
to?
I'm moving to Illinois. I'm from Ohio.
Oh, you're moving to Illinois.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm moving to Rockford, Illinois.
Is that north?
Yeah, it's 15 minutes south of the Wisconsin border.
I think my brother used to live in Rockford. It was cold. I don't know what you're thinking.
It's cold, but it's home of the arachnid office, so that's where I'll be working out of over there.
Woo. Well, I'll be in Florida on the boat and send you pictures of the ocean. I'm not doing
Steve,
that.
It's so
I am
kind
not
of you to
going to
offer
the
for me to
cold.
stay with you next time I come to visit. You're right. I'll sleep at Steve's house. We'll have a sleepover.
How the hell did that turn into an invite?
That's what I got out of it. Is that not what you were saying?
No, I didn't know. I didn't think so.
Stan Nelson is saying in the YouTube chat, over this many games, it's very good darts. Yeah, no. If you're averaging a 70 across 9 now in the 10th leg, that's a great standard because we have to talk about it, right? If you're averaging a 90 or more, you're a PDC pro. If you're averaging an 80 or more, you're like a WDF pro. And if you're averaging a 70 or more, you're a semi-pro, in my opinion, right? That's how I feel about it. Like, if you can maintain these averages consistently in tournaments, once you get to like 60 and less, that's when you start getting to your average player range. But 70 is like these guys are just on the cusp. But if you make one big change, you all of a sudden you're playing in Premier, which these guys will be. But that's besides the point. Double top.
Oh, 48.
Such a long pause between that second and third dart there.
I think when you do that, you put so much pressure on yourself to hit it. Now he's got plenty of time. I mean, he should have just winged it. I mean, the guy's he's at 174. Joe's at 170. He's not taking 174 out, right? So just take your time. Suck it up. Get to the right out you want. Oh, that's not.
This has not been his friend. The double 5.
That's a bust.
That's a bust.
Oh
if you're going to miss on that last start, the last start's a miss. You want it to bust rather than be a single 5, but it doesn't make it feel any better, especially if Joe can check this 116 triple 20 for double 18. Not going to happen.
That's because he didn't go trip 19, single 19,
40.
double 20.
Hey, honestly, I like that route. Personally, that's a great route. And Steve, that's the best your math's
I
ever
hit
been.
that
He's involved
more
in 19s.
times. I hit that a ton. A matter of fact, that's all. Anything I got below 116, except for double 19, I literally went trip 19, single 19, and then I just went with that out. That's because I just felt more comfortable hitting the 19. So, and if I knew if I went low or missed or something, if I went low on the trip 19, I probably had a good marker dart. Or I knew I was gonna hit it, so I had a better chance of doing that than going the other way. So you give me a bucket of darts to throw a trip, it could be a while.
I love it.
96.
Well, Dustin needs to try to hold his throw. He broke at the throw there. He gets a good start in this leg. If you can go ahead and hold your throw again, you reduce it down to that 3-leg difference, and it becomes more manageable. Because
45.
7-2 felt unmanageable. 7-3 feels out of hand. 7-4 feels doable. Right? That's the mentality you kind of have to start having. And in the moment, you're not thinking about this.
No, he's got to steal one here somewhere. That's all. But he's got to be able to when someone hits a 45, you got to come back with a slapper, right? That was pretty good. So to put yourself up way up. And again, manage the game.
81.
Manage the game. It doesn't. I know you have the perfect dart history and the perfect dart world and the perfect dart chart somewhere, but when you're playing 1v1, you play to whatever he's not hitting, and if he's not hitting and you just got to get her down, then that's what you do, Because look, he's got a pretty good substantial lead here, Looks like he's going to get even a bigger lead.
$35.
So there,
Yeah,
Deep
this is a wide
deep
open
breath.
leg.
There you go. Just let him flow in there.
And Joe in his match against me kind of played like this, but he was talking about it in the pregame here as they were warming up. Joe has always been a feast or famine kind of player, all or nothing. It's either he is absolutely drilling his darts like we saw earlier on and was just dominating, or he has moments like this where he can't really buy a triple if he wanted to.
Well, Dustin, I think, is maybe also thinking a little too much about that trip 20. He's throwing at the trip 20, but nailing a trip every time he gets a shot at it.
$80 left.
No, I think you got the trip 20.
72.
Yeah, you got it.
Wow.
Oh,
Look, your glasses are working.
thank you very much. Well, I thought he nailed it because he went over to the 12. I'm like, oh, okay. Of course, right on cue when I hit the trip 19, he hits a trip 20 first dart.
I hate to say it, but yeah, Steve, you're making a lot more sense to me right in that moment.
Well, it happens.
First time for
not his
everything.
friend. These are not.
Or dart.
Nice shot.
Does convert on that last after having some troubles with the double 5 we saw multiple times. This time getting that it's 7-4, and this is what we were talking about the start of that last leg. It becomes more manageable from this point. Yes, Joe has the darts. Yes, Joe's going to try to rally. Yes, he probably will rally at some point. But now you've reduced it to that 3-game difference, and your opponent's still 5 games from the win. So you just need to, win out here a little bit. Try to start keeping that pressure on Joe. Make it feel like it's getting out, rolling the other direction.
Well, so see Joe's average has come down to Dustin's now. Dustin's still playing the same. So this is where you gotta, try to dig. But just don't understand these guys. They're so good at hitting the triple 19. Boom. Boom shakalaka. How about that? Is that better? Boom shakalaka.
I like NBA Jam as much as the next guy, so you're not gonna have a hard time convincing me on that one.
45.
Well, I mean, these guys are good enough. Sometimes you're hitting. And I mean, tour guys, yes, they kill the 20, but the 19s and the 20s at the beginning of the game, it's the same. Once you've missed that first 20, the perfect game is gone. Right, so just whatever number's hot, go with your hot. Go if it's 19, kill the 19. If it's 20, it's in 20s. But don't just throw it to 20 because it's the 20. It's only 3 more points.
And yes, to an extent, right? So like Steve, in your case or Dustin's case or even Paula Murphy's case, the 19s route has been so comfortable for you guys for such a long time that it's like, yeah, why would you break that habit if that's where you're extremely comfortable? But if I was working with a new player, I would want them to not have a bias with any of the numbers, right? That's the goal. What separates someone like Alex Spellman from us human beings is the fact that we don't need to get our oil changed every other month because we're human beings and he's a robot. And also, secondly, that I'm sure players like him and other top end guys, they have learned to not have a preference at all on the dartboard. I mean, yeah, they might have
80%.
minor things for checkout routes for the mathing and how that feels, but for a fact that a lot of those players are just okay, I need to do what's optimal. And those are habits you want to try to build early on. But if you have the habit, it's the other way around. It's not the end of the world.
Well, but at this level, we don't have coaches. We got we're given the cards that are dealt to us. So in this sense, if like there he goes 140, I get it. It just whatever's working for you at the time. I mean, you're just not going to throw
180.
20s forever.
Woo.
Ooh,
Nice darts.
ooh.
Yes, sir.
What a
Dustin
time.
just thought he's like, okay,
Fucking
way ahead.
41 minutes.
Now he's got to take it out.
Oh, well, that 180 to leave 36 is just absolutely disgusting darts right there.
That's a big shot. He needed it too.
Oh,
There you go.
first dart's in on the 20.
There it is. It's a big
Dramatic pause.
Second dart.
Nice
Nice
check
shot.
under pressure.
Oh,
Oh boy, here we go.
right after the
Oh, you
buck
did.
80.
You did, my friend.
Nice. Wow.
Now it's a 2 leg difference, and Dustin has the darts, and all of a sudden his average is higher, and the leg differential is changing. This
All
is
those
reminding me a
runs,
lot of. Yeah, this is absolutely a run. This is the type of stuff that you need to do that doesn't feel probable when you're thinking about it in your head, but when it starts happening and you start forcing it on the dartboard, it feels magnificent.
59.
Yep. And that's the whole thing. It's sometimes once like I said before, I remember playing that one match, and I don't know what it was, but man, was I trying to will it in the triple. I'm like, for the love of God, please go in a triple, and it
85.
just wouldn't go, and I'm just getting killed and getting killed and getting killed, and I'm like, for the love of God, thinking, why do I do this to myself every week? It's like, good God, self-torture.
46.
I can't let it get away from him now. He's playing so well.
Yeah, you can't
give him
afford to
one.
cool off.
Don't give him one. Don't give him a participation trophy one. Don't do it just because he's playing. Just
58.
Which again, testament to the quality of these players. We see a couple of troublous visits, and we're like, oh, something must be wrong, right? Because that's how well they've been playing. If you're averaging in the 70s, that means that more turns than not, you're usually hitting like a 60 and an 80, and a 60 and an 80, like you're averaging in that kind of range, or a 76 and a 95 if you're Steve McDowell, to help translate to the 19s math, right? So like that's the idea. So it's 57 to 76. So like, that's what's really cool to see is these players have set that standard pretty well in this matchup so far, and falling right in line with the Division 1 expected average range.
which I thought was totally biased, in the local leagues that you played in, the county leagues. The total bias where they would keep track of, tons of 100 or more or 180s and stuff like that. I shoot the 19s. If I shoot 5 19s, I'm getting, 95. I'm not getting 100. So I was like, you guys can't do that to me.
45.
So I never got a 180 pin because I never shot at it. All I ever shoot was the 19s. So I literally had to hit a 7 mark to get a ton.
Is that 140? No, it's just a 100 there. Does not leave a finish. So Dustin is still in control of his throw. It's under a little bit of heat, but right now, if I'm Dustin, I'm thinking, let me hit 1 good treble and 2 good singles. Let me get to that single treble checkout, right? The 111 or whatever mathing route he chooses. 60 scored. 151.
117.
Nice shot there from Dustin Jensen.
That's what I'm talking about.
These 19s, he's on to something over here.
Telling you. Wasting your time.
I trust you, Steve. I trust you.
40.
I'll take your word for it. You can have
It's so funny,
you can have the 19s next time we play cricket.
Well, if you think about it, yeah, 'cause I've seen people do that mistake against me, leave me the 19s. I just played in the Margie tournament up there, and we were playing the first round. I playing with my partner, and they went up and closed to 20s, and I look at them, I go, Dan, dang gone well, I like the 19s. Why would you go 20s? And then that's an open, or I hit a 7 mark in them, and then they tried to catch up on the 20s. They missed. My partner hit it, and they still leave it open. We close our number, and I bang the 19s again. It's like, it's like if someone's really good at the 20, I try to go close their number, but don't leave the 19s open.
Fair enough. I listen. All I'm saying is, I get it. I played you in cricket. I beat you there.
All right, he needs this. This has been a weird game. Not a great game, but 58. He's going to go 18. I want to hit a triple.
Well, 54 for 4 is not a bad way to go about it.
I'm sure that's not. Wait. Where'd he go?
It went out and then he went up. Now he left himself the madhouse. And I agree with you. You got to be really drilling that big single. It's easy to be like, oh, I'm okay with a triple here because it's not like you should just 4. But man, oh man, it can lead to some pretty tricky scenarios. As right now, it's going to be a dart double 20. No, the first dart must not have been in.
I think he's in a mess anyway. I think it was a 5.
Oh, that's so crap.
He's not happy with that turn. That was a Steve McDowell commentary
There
moment.
we go. I'm gonna start rooting for him now. He's starting to sound like me.
I legitimately was look to see if you said that before he said that.
Yeah, but it would have been cooler if he would have said, "Man, that's a toilet."
Oh, that's true. Then when he hits a good shot, he tells you to get on the bus.
You get it?
No, that's a bust.
Yeah, that's not good.
5 double 16. Tried to.
Or 20. Or 20.
Yeah, now it's 1-1, and he busts there. Missed a big number twice. Joe Smith definitely doesn't want to be shaken off like this at the moment.
Wow. No, does he sound like Steve McDowell? He's playing like Steve McDowell.
Steve, did you randomly switch into this matchup at some point? Did I miss that?
Thank you, sir.
I'm over there playing for Joe right now. Love playing like that.
Well, all of a sudden, 7-2 has turned into 7-6. That is quite the run. 4 legs on the spin right now.
Spin's good work. That's probably what Joe's head's doing right now. As he went 20-18 for just trying at a 37.
Yeah, I have to feel for Joe a little bit because this is one of those feelings where everything's fighting against
60.
you. Everything in your brain. You're like, I had this lead, and now you're starting to tell yourself that, hey, stop blowing this lead. And that mentality is a scary place to live.
Well, all that negativity, it's probably where Alex Spellman's really good at
91.
teaching and talking about instances just like this, is that, part of guys who are really good is the mental part of the game doesn't bother them, right? Certain things, like, for example, when I go golfing, right? And I gamble when I golf. And I know that's hard to believe that I gamble when I golf.
No way.
But when I go golfing, I gamble. And sometimes I gamble for a little too much money. But when I'm golfing and gambling, nothing bothers me. And I don't know why. Like, I do not know why. I'm going to hit the fairway. Now, am I going to hit the green? I don't know. But I'm definitely going to hit the fairway. But it's like something comes over me. And I think it's either something that can be taught or something. And I think Alex probably has some great, because I know, I'm so tempted to actually just do a lesson with Alex just to see what he would say on the dartboard so I can take it to other aspects of my life, because I'm pretty sure it's some stuff I would love to hear. So, because I know part of the mental, everything, there's a mental game, and then there's the physical part of the game. Every sport has it. You know what I mean? There's a gentleman we play golf against, and he's like a 2 handicap. His name's Blanchard, and he's phenomenal, right? But when it comes to gambling and him thinking through a shot, he's like a 6-year-old, right? So he's this great golfer who's half a nut job, who can't, as soon as you start putting money on the line, bye-bye, he gone. You know what I mean? Yeah, just take everything he has, and he should kill me every time we play, because I'm like an 8 handicap. He's a 2 handicap, and, he only gives me a stroke. It's like, there's no way. He should kill me every time. Hits the ball 80 yards past me. But he's such a mental giant
60.
that he can't figure out how to beat me. And sometimes it just gets in your head. And I think, sometimes these tight spots like this could help if there was something you could, fall back on.
Well, I mean, we always do the classic darts is 80% mental conversation. But to your point, I think about it, and that's very interesting that you brought that up, about like the certain head cases that start getting amped up in certain ways. I always think about those players that just have the talent and ability, but haven't been able to produce results. And once you get that one big win, that one win that you were fishing for, whatever that means to you, whether it's getting the DPFL championship, whether it's going out there and
134.
winning at the Chicago finale, it doesn't matter what the tournament is. The fact is that I have seen time and time again a player become a different person after they finally get the confidence of that big win under their belt.
Yeah, it again. Oh, Nico's not as. I just saw that DPFL just sent. I get a transaction report every time it gets sent out, right?
Yep.
And I literally just saw DPFL's just sent $1,600 to Lauren Roth, and I'm like, wait, man, he was playing Larry. I hope he didn't give it to the right guy. So apparently that's Nico's wife just got $1,600.
Well, congratulations to Nico's wife, and congratulations to Dustin, as it's now 7-7.
She's going shopping.
Yep, she is. I would like her to buy me a milkshake. That is all I want out of that prize money.
One of the other things that I do, Nick, I don't know if you do this, but when I play steel tip, or even when I play soft tip, probably in 01, but not so much in cricket. Cricket, you got to watch. But I never watch my opponents throw or even put in their score when I play 01. Because reality at the beginning, I don't care what he hits. Like right now, Dustin, I don't care what Dustin hits. Why? I've got to throw my darts, right? So my darts, until I get down to an out, what do I care where they're at? I just try to concentrate on just me throwing, giving my best 12 to 15 darts right off the get-go. Because if you throw anywhere from 12 to 15 good darts from the get-go, you're going to be down and out. You got a good chance to win that game. Look, if they're already out after you're at 12 or 15 darts, God bless them, because they just threw one hell of a game. But don't worry about what they throw. Worry about what you throw. And when you get down there, then you can take a peek when you're below 200 maybe, but you just got to get down there.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I
watching
agree.
someone throw 140 against you, sometimes it's just demoralizing watching it.
That's exactly right. I agree with that point so much. I do not look at what my opponent's doing. I will look sometimes if it's about them going for the winning double. And that's the only time I catch myself actually actively watching. And that's just because I need to know, am I going to continue to try to take this out, or am I going back to the scoring phase? And I'm just mentally preparing myself in that way. Otherwise, I'm the type that doesn't actively watch them too much. I am very energetic at the line in the hockey. I'm usually talking with somebody else around. I'm keeping up my own energy levels as I like to play with a lot of energy, a lot of emotion. As Joe, by the way, can you hit it? No, it's just 140.
140.
He needed that. He needed that. Dustin could start running away with this. I mean, that's quite a few in a row.
Well, Dustin is, I mean, 5 on the spin right now is such a good spot for Dustin, and he is looking stronger and stronger. Joe's cooled off a little bit, and honestly, it's his timing of his shots, as we've talked about earlier. It's all or nothing. Earlier, it was all in all.
Yeah.
Oh my Joe. God damn it, brother.
That's a Steve McDowell moment of the night for Joe Smith.
There's people like me out there, thank God.
You're not alone, Steve. There's other people that knows to not bet on a horse that's on a grass track at the last corner, something.
You're killing me. You just killed my analogy. It was just terrible.
60.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Can you tell me where to start with the 122?
No, because I'll never agree with that. Like at all.
Bull trip 19, double 20. That's another way to do it.
45.
He's getting down to the bottom. He's throwing bad.
Yeah,
gotta pick it
Joe's
up.
ice cold right now, and Dustin at 82's prime. He can go triple 14 for double top. He went bull for double 16.
That's kind of wrong.
I mean, with 3 darts in hand, I don't mind it.
I can't see where the first one went in. Is that a 19?
Yeah, I can't tell if it's a 19 or a 3.
42.
42 scored, so he does go ahead and see up the 40. So now 176 for Joe. He needs to put some pressure. And really, it's not even about, like, I say put pressure. It's not about that right now for Joe. Joe needs to win a leg to remind himself that he won the first 7. He's won 7 legs already, I should say, not the first 7. He won the first 7 of 9.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He needs a reset.
Dustin goes high, still high. Those darts are glued together. Can he still get some separation from them? Good long pause here. That's one of the pauses where I do like that, because I don't like that my second dart was almost in the same spot as my first. Unfortunately, it just doesn't convert to results. A downside opportunity for Joe Smith at 137.
I know you say opportunity, but I think he would take 97 right now.
Oh, I think he would take any meaningful trouble right now. The Joe is definitely going through the motions and for the last 5 legs now. This is how I felt playing against him, actually. So there you go, Joe.
That's a bust.
Oh, that's in the double 15? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, not ideal. 90
I mean,
left.
he's given him
He's given him a million opportunities in this leg.
Yes.
And And there, I don't like that switch to 18. Yes, 54 for 36 on 90. But the thing is, your first start is a 20. And unless you really don't like the position, I think I would try to play off my first start and therefore force a double 15 in that moment.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of switching to the 18. 18's not a number. I think that's a killer. It's just not something. You throw 1,000 trip 20s and then you're going to rip over the 18 and expect to drill it and then go double. No, I agree with you, and that doesn't happen often. You're going to throw a single 20.
Clip
you're
that.
Right there, just stay at the 20 and go. Again, at this level in Division I, Premier, you guys can hit any double. 2, 3, 4. No.
55.
No. Go to your favorites. Know your role. Do what you're supposed to, and you'll win games. When you get better, you can, go to the routes you're supposed to go. But that's one in Premier. 2, you're getting there, but you'll find out once you play in 1, it's a whole different ball game. Because I know I did. I was like, oh my God, from Division 2 to Division 1 was quite the jump. It's quite the jump. And you'll find that, Nick, if you play in Division 2 next time unless you play in Division 1, which you remember, you're always allowed to play up. You don't have to play in the level you're in. If you're a level 3 guy and you want to play Division 1, just have at it. Just remember, they just can't play in yours. They can't come down. So, but
yeah, I'd probably play up. I personally, the only divisions I want to play in as something, not because of my own ability, but because of the fact I want to improve my ability. I always want to play Division 1 or Premier personally. And that's because right now I really do feel like a 61 average is about where I am. And 61, 74. That means I either need to take I don't want to be a middle or top of the pack in D2. I would rather be the bottom of the pack in D1 and learn something every time. Personally, I like to be a little fish in a big pond.
I guess it's which way you're taking your game.
I try to take mine up. I see you've been taking yours down.
Well, it's pretty easy. You switch darts, and that's what happens. So you go down pretty easy.
And Joe, by the way, is fallen to 69.56. He was staying at a 75 for the first 9, 10, 11 legs of the match. And again, 6 legs lost in a row now to Dustin Jensen, who felt like it was a down and out type scenario. This is starting to get to the nightmare territory. If I'm Joe, I'm starting to have like scares and tremors because of something like this happening.
30.
Yeah, he has a little different tone in his voice too, which is very familiar to me, by the way. When throwing darts, you start to go, and for the love of God, I am not throwing you in the 3 and the 2. Why are you going there? So it's when you go back to your, okay, start over. It's like golf. You're hooking the ball. Okay, hold on. Why am I hooking the ball? Think about it. He's going to 1. He's throwing a 5.
26.
He's just, to me, I'm there's no way I'm sitting there throwing 20s anymore. He needs to try something different. And I mean, literally, freaking anything. I don't care if he shoots bullseyes the rest of the game. Just do something different. Definition of insanity, doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Not going to happen, my friend. Not going to happen.
58.
Yeah, you got to play some kind of breakaway. You got to play some kind of get out of jail moment, right? And whether that just be switching numbers, like you said, having an extra shot of whiskey, I don't know what it is,
Nothing's
but
dropping roll.
and you can hear Joe. He is continuing to talk about his frustrations. He is, and again, and that he's a really nice guy. If I'm him, I know I would be near imploding right now.
Yeah. I'd probably be on my 5th shot of Fireball, 8th beer. I'm getting rid of this feeling one way or another.
52.
52 scored. We'll be back.
Joe would have went to the moon. He's just got him dominated. That's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate because
I don't understand living in the 20s.
It's unfortunate for Joe. Again, you have to remember Dustin was getting beat up by Joe 7-2 before this shifted around completely. But yeah, there you go. Now 3 legs away for Dustin and 2 legs ahead of Joe after being down 7-2. I mean, that's incredibly hard position.
Too. Oh, now it's going to be Dustin's throw.
Your good friend Scott Hanish in the chat says, "Remember the time I killed you 9-1, Steve McDowell."
What is it with people living in the past? I don't bring up shit that they did in the past, or I'm sure I could. But people want to talk about the past all the time around me. 96. Live in the future, my friend Scott. Live in the future.
Hey, I don't talk about that one time you beat me at bullshooter.
I still have the picture of you walking away, and then the caption on the bottom. Thanks for coming.
Man, I really wanted to win that matchup too. I'll tell you that much.
You had us. You had us in that game. You were winning 1-0, I think, and then we beat you the last 2 or something. Shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, that's the Nick Teixeira special. Blowing matches you should win.
I will blame your dad.
And then Scott says, "Would you like me to beat you in the future too?" That's. I'm excited. I want to see the Steve Scott Will golf off. I'll be the caddy and the cameraman. I don't have a dog in that fight.
Fine with me. I'm in.
As long as you're buying, I'll film it.
They ain't playing for free. Those boys, unless they put on some coin on the game, I'm not getting out there. I don't play for funsies. I don't play for friendship.
Will you play for content if there's cameras for USA Darts?
Sure. Who cares? I got a problem. Give me a microphone. I'm good. You can mic me up all day long. You want to hear some? You want to hear some fun? Those two will get brutalized when I play golf.
Oh, don't. Well, I know for sure. We'll have a little bit of time because I don't think Will's going home between the ADO Classic the weekend before and DPFL, and I'll be out here that whole month. Even though I'm moving away in 3 weeks, I'm going to be out here that whole month, pretty much.
I got nothing, man.
That's right. 22. The struggle is real.
Yeah. If I'm Joe, the only thing I can do right now is laugh about it. I'm not even mad at this point. And there's money on the line. There's a title on the line. There's a lot to care about right now. But if I start thinking about all that, it's only going to get worse. I'm thinking to myself, man, I'm okay. It's just a game. I have to get into that zone. I just have to kind of laugh at myself, right? Because again, if he stays averaging at 75, he'd still be 2 points higher than Dustin, and he had a 7-2 lead. So the game has just left him temporarily. It's not like it isn't inside him.
I don't disagree, but he's not changing up. I mean, he's just trying to live up there in the 20s, and he's, even if you just said, okay, look, for the next 3 rounds, I'm just going to shoot at the 19. I'll go back to the 20s. But if I hit the 19s, maybe I live there for a couple games. And if it leaves me, then I'll go back to my 20s and get my throwback, get your confidence back. But just to continue to sit up there and hit 1s and 5s and single 20s, may make nobody happy.
81.
Well, 115 will have 6 darts at it at minimum. And the way things are going, potentially 9 darts at it, it feels. Good board management. 44. Last one got away from him a little bit, though. So reprieve for Joe. That was only 44. Gives you an outside opportunity to get back into this.
You gave him the old announcer kiss of death.
Hey, I'm known for that. As
management.
As well.
Boom, 5.
60.
See, he's even throwing it when he's blocking himself. He's still trying to shove in the 20. Okay, maybe it worked for him in the past. I don't know. I mean, hell, he's in the finals. I'm not.
That is true, but if you
he's still shooting higher than I ever average.
We'd still be making fun of you. He is still shooting higher average.
You wouldn't need any announcers if I was in the finals.
That is true. You do all the work for us.
I'd be talking it up. I'd be going crazy.
Take in deep breath. Found the 39. Found the 32.
Nice shot.
2 legs away.
60, right? That last one.
Yeah. Shit! I did that.
No, it's all good. I don't know if I can. I think you have control of that. Still.
I can do it. I got it.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, 39 and
Sorry about that.
32.
No worries. No worries.
It's
Yeah,
too
it's
much.
just adjusting there. But at this point, Joe is getting close to falling off 10 points from his average he was at like 9. And it's going to be really hard for Dustin to lose from this position if things don't change. Like the only thing that can change this right now is Joe catches some absolute heat, or Dustin catches a little bit of finish line-itis. But at this point, it's now or never. This is a must-win league for Joe, or else this match is all but over.
I'd have to.
42.
Oh, let's see. He went down to the 19. Didn't help much, but.
See, he's starting to listen to you, Steve, but Dustin, I mean, his starts are just listening to him, it seems. That's a 180 to start off this leg. My goodness, Dustin Jensen.
Man, that is just wrong. The guy is struggling, and you do that to him.
You know, when I was playing that I talked about earlier, that impromptu adult youth match with me and Will and Porky and his daughter Zyla. It wasn't adult youth yet. I was just playing with Will. They won that Fat Bowl format. I didn't want to just shoot hat tricks. I went up there, went bull, missed the high ton, and Will's like, "Really, you're going to do that to a 12-year-old?" I'm like, "Absolutely." And then I went up there, hit another high ton, and then hit another high ton, and then he's like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Because when I was a kid, no one held back. Just like if Joe's struggling, Dustin shouldn't hold back."
Yeah, some people tend to wonder why I am, and I got a story for tell you, Nick, so I can tell you a story. So
I'm ready.
So I'm back in my day. I'm bowling, and let's see, how old am I? I'm probably 21, and I used to bowl up North Tampa. I used to bowl with my mom, and I don't know if my brother was. I think my brother was on the team. But anyway, just whatever. We had a family team plus somebody else. So anyway, so one night, I have the first 9 in a row. Now my average is like 161, and I have the first 9 strikes in a row, right? So I don't know. Are you familiar with bowling? Have you bowled before?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. So when someone gets to 9 in a row, everybody stops, right, to watch, because you're going for a 300. No one should bowl to your left. No one should bowl to your right. So you sit there and go. So I come up and I throw the first ball, and boom, solid in the pocket. I'm like, boom, strike. All right, here we go. And I'm thinking now it's getting serious, right? Now it's getting serious. So I don't look at anybody, come back and get my ball, get on lane, throw the ball, and it's going left. It's going left, right? It's not even close. And all I hear from the background is my mother going, "Choke." Like, my mother just yelled choke on a dead quiet alley. Before a 300 came and yells choke, which everybody heard.
That's amazing.
I'm like, I missed the 11th strike in a row, and now you're telling me I choked?
That is incredible parenting.
45.
Yeah. So my parents didn't let us win at anything. Like at anything. I don't care. Of course, I'm old, right? When we played video games, we only had Atari. My dad beat the crap out of us. When we would play cards, me and my younger brother would play cards against my dad and my mom. We used to play a game called Canasta, right? They'd beat the crap out of us, and they'd rub it in the whole time they played us. So there's no wonder why I'm the way I am.
Well,
I hate to lose.
It makes sense. That's how my dad is, because I never let him win on the dartboard either.
And don't.
I don't
let anybody win. I don't like winning. I mean, I don't like losing. And I always say a good loser is a consistent loser.
I mean, okay, I would like to pride myself in my ability to be a good loser, but that's just I don't like to call myself a consistent loser. That just changed my mentality there a little bit. You just changed my world.
No, I don't. No, there's no such thing as a good loser. He's such a good loser. The hell out of here!
I'm the one of the best losers there is. I just like having fun, man. As that's now 11-7 and one leg away for Dustin.
Run. Is that 9 in a row?
That is 9 in a row. It was 7-2 in this matchup, believe it or not, folks.
Oh my God. Joe has got to win this one.
Well, yes, win
He's
everyone
got to
from
win
here.
this one just for mental stability going forward. I mean, just for next season. Come on, Joe. Everybody should be rooting for Joe. Sorry, Dustin, but we need Joe to win this one. So maybe put a little tanker on one of these so they can let Joe get his head right here.
Well, and I mean, I already like alluded that I had a little bit of bias going into this, saying that, you know, of course I want the guy that I played against in my round robin to get on the run, but you gotta feel for him in this moment. Again, it's about playing perfect here. You can't think that you have to play perfect, but you just have to. You have to get 4 legs or 5 legs on the spin to be able to get the match win. It is 5 legs when your opponent needs 1 is near impossible, and the only way you can get around that is if Dustin really struggles to get across that finish line, which right now he is not. I mean, that gripping's great on that 100. I'm not. If I'm him, I'm happy right now. I'm thriving.
Oh my, he almost hit the double 20. Oh, he didn't hit the trip 19, did he?
80.
I don't know where these darts are going.
Well, I don't know if Joe knows where they're going right now. Again, feeling the frustrations. Dustin, and he's just been putting the pressure back on through and through, just holding that standard this whole time.
Well, he didn't really do any damage there, so Joe's really got to. Well, we've been saying this for the last probably 40 minutes. He's got to dig somewhere.
Yeah, this has been going now for what? I think we're like, so this at 9:15, so like an hour and a half into this match.
He needs to. This is going way longer than the Division 3.
Yeah, well, it was at first looking like it was going to be way quicker with that initial burst of games, and then kind of slowed down, and then Dustin just heated up. This is a little bit of a slowdown here from Dustin, just a 40 on the turn. Joe needs to just try to get something going right now. And you're absolutely right, Steve. It's about right now for your mentality more than anything else.
Nah, he might have. I hate to say it. I hope he didn't check out, but he's getting close to checking out.
It's hard not to.
Oh, I totally agree. It's just nothing's fallen all of a sudden. And you know, not that Dustin. Let's be honest. Not that Dustin's tearing the world up. He's only at a 72. I mean, Joe was shooting 75 before, so Dustin's basically stayed right around the 70 mark and has just played consistent. And Joe is more fallen off than Dustin has took his game up.
Yeah, Dustin went up by 2 points. It was the fact that, and at one point there, it was a little bit of a wider separation, but for the most part, Dustin's gone up by 2 points. Joe just falling off by 10 whole points after like 9 is hard to imagine, and just one of those things that is going to be a pain point for him, as that 81 gets Dustin to the first got to finish.
Personally, I blame you. You probably didn't give him enough competition to make him be a better dart person. So playing in your bracket is probably why he's probably struggling at this moment. So, you know, then he's throwing in the announcer kiss of death. I want him to win because he was in my league. So you should do those things next. Not nice.
You're right. Honestly, it is my fault, and I apologize profusely. As I can tell you, when Joe was playing me, it was never a doubt that he was going to win it after those first couple legs. The only thing I did to make it interesting was those couple big ton plus checkouts. As bullseye for the title. Do it. Don't set up. Do it. Rip it.
Don't do it. You're going to crush him.
Rip it.
You're going to crush him. Don't do it.
No! Just into the single.
Oh, shit. Oh my God! What are you trying to do to him, Dustin? Just hit a single out. See, right now I'm throwing my dart at the camera, hoping it hits Dustin, because that is just wrong.
The last dart probably should have been an 18 or a 10, but man, that was swagger. That was swagger points, Steve.
There's no swagger points. Who gets swagger?
There is.
Points?
I give him out. He got 10 right there. It's whose line rules. The points don't even matter. And that's the match.
Wow.
Gonna take a quick moment here to talk with these players.
All right, my man. Yeah, good match. That was the
Yep.
weirdest match I've had all year. I'm sure. Guys.
I couldn't get it together after a minute. Shit happens.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
Great final, sir, and congratulations, man.
Yeah, much obliged. You as well. Great playing, great tournament, and nice match with you.
That was
Yes, sir.
that was a very interesting matchup, folks. Guys, I got to ask you real quick here. Dustin, what were you thinking at the beginning there when you were down 7-2?
Oh, I was thinking I've thrown this one in the bin, and that's it for this season. But it was a good run, and I mean, Joe was throwing amazing. There was I don't think I was going to catch that.
And Joe,
but then I mean, but you're also thinking, well, just try to have fun and relax, and so I kind of just focused on that. Yeah.
Well, Joe, on the other hand there, you start off red hot. I mean, you were staying right at that 75, 77 range, and then kind of hit that wall. Was it more of do you think it was more of a mental block, or can you talk us through a little bit what that was like?
It was definitely a mental block. I had a little bit of an outside distraction, and I let it get to me too much. And no, I can't take anything away from him. He shot his ass off tonight. He definitely deserved it. He definitely won it. I just couldn't collect myself after a minor deficit, and he made that was a heck of a comeback.
I mean, it was an incredible comeback at that, but an incredible match altogether. You both were brilliant and had some big moments in there. Final thing here, I just want to say congratulations to both of you guys on your finals appearance here, and of course Dustin for getting the Division I championship. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Yes, congratulations, Dustin.
Thank you. Yes,
excellent, brother.
Much obliged, Joe. Yeah, great match, great shooting. You're a player. I appreciate it very much, sir.
Thank you guys for playing on the stream. Man. You guys have a good one. All right.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Yes, sir.
All right, Steve. Well, that's Division I done for us. And a double header of a match tonight, huh?
It figures the fucking second one would take 2 fucking hours, and the first one took the quickest. We thought it would have been vice versa.
Well, on that double F-bomb there from Steve McDowell to end our night, we're going to go ahead and call it a do, folks. Thank you to Florida.
I didn't know we were still live. Nick, what are you doing? You're killing me.
You can look at the screen here. What do you mean you didn't know? All right, folks. Well, Steve, we're still live, and thank you all for tuning in. Congratulations.
Sorry about the F-bombs.
Oh, my goodness. Dustin Jensen, congratulations. Joe Smith, commiserations as well. And we're just going to cut the feed here. Have a good night, everybody.